Hi there guys, how you all doing? Nice quiet Sunday, so as promised in my previous DVD update, I'd say I'd do a quick video going through my serial killer collection. Because I do enjoy these little serial killer films, fact-based ones. I was going through my collection a few weeks ago and I noticed I had a bunch of these scattered around the place. So I grouped them all together and decided to go through them all and see if I could pick up any recommendations from people that have noticed ones that I don't have. So yeah, we'll start with a bunch of Henry Lee Lucas themed films. Starting with one we all know and love, well, most of us like it. It's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Very good film. Michael Rooker in the lead role as Henry, and Tom Tolles as his sleazy sidekick Otis, who almost steals the show. He's so good. But yeah, very good, very gritty, grimy atmosphere. It's got its moments of brutal violence, and yeah, just very good film, very memorable, and highly recommended if you haven't seen it already. So yeah, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Next we have the follow-up, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer Part 2, Mask of Sanity. This one's not so good actually, to be honest. The guy that they got to replace Michael Rooker, he was a bit miscast. He wasn't really right for the role. He was a bit too small. Not very intimidating enough. He just goes around looking pissed off all the time, and they got annoying to watch. But it's not a complete loss. It's got some decent moments of gore now and then. Even in this cut version, the UK release is cut by a few seconds. But it's still quite a violent film at times. But yeah, just average overall. Next up we have Confessions of a Serial Killer, another one based on Henry Lee Lucas, who claimed to kill hundreds of people. Obviously not all of them have been proven, but anyway, this film, it'd be unfair to judge this film based on this particular release of it, because it looks like a toned down TV cut of the film. All the swearing has been muted, the violence is off screen. Whenever there's nudity, they reframe the camera so it's not on screen. So I'd like to see it uncut, because it has potential, but the only uncut release is some rare VHS somewhere. It's never been released in its full form on DVD, to my knowledge anyway. But yeah, avoid this particular release of the film. Next we have a fairly new version of the Henry Lee Lucas story. It's Henry Lee Lucas, Serial Killer, with Antonio Sabato Jr., who was a bit miscast in this one as well. He looks more like Richard Ramirez. And to be honest, the majority of the cast in this one were a bit out of their depth, really. Didn't really convince in their roles. Apart from Antonio, he's a decent actor, but like I said, looks more like Richard Ramirez. So yeah, best to avoid this one as well, nothing special here. So yeah, that's from 2009, this one. Right, that's Henry Lee Lucas done. Next we've got Zodiac. This is the David Fincher version from 2007. Yeah, very good film, very good in-depth look at the investigation behind the whole hunt for the killer, the Zodiac killer, who was never caught, which makes the whole story a bit fascinating, The killings happen early on, and they're fairly brutal and to the point. So after that, it's all about the hunt for him. It's a fairly long film, about 2.5 hours long, and this is the theatrical version. There is a director's cut version of this one, but I haven't seen it yet. But this version is good enough. Great cast as well. So Zodiac from 2007. Next we have Zodiac, The Zodiac from 2005. It was made a couple of years before Fincher's version. And this one was okay. It looks like it was filmed in the areas where the killings actually took place, so it's got a bit of realism to it. But it's not a particularly very, very good film. It's decent, not great, but it's a bit slow, to be honest. It has a TV movie feel to it all, so it's hard to get into at times. But anyway, if you can find it cheap, worth a look if you're interested in the story. That's the Zodiac. Next up we have Ted Bundy from 2002, directed by Matthew Bright, and this was very good. I really enjoyed this one. It's worth watching alone for the whole sequence at the end where they're prepping Ted Bundy for the electric chair, which is really powerful and moving. Even though he deserved it, it was still quite sad to sit through. And it's quite violent as well. It's got its disturbing moments. And also a couple of funny moments, actually. Not sure whether it was intentional or not, but it made me laugh a few times as well. But yeah, all in all, very good film. Really enjoyed this one. So that's Ted Bundy from 2002. Next we have a recent take on the Ted Bundy story. This is Bundy, Legacy of Evil from 2009. Haven't seen this one yet. This one's fairly new for me. Only 50p. I think it's made from the same people that did the Henry Lee Lucas serial killer film as well. So if it's anything like that one, I'm not getting my hopes up too much about this one. But I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go, you know. Next we have The Boston Strangler. This is a new one. This was on my previous DVD update. This one's from 1968. I haven't got around to watching it yet, but it looks pretty good. Next we have The Hillside Stranglers from 2002. These killings took place during the 70s, I believe. Yeah, and yeah, this one disappointed, to be honest. I was expecting it to be a bit better, but it was okay. C. Thomas Howell's in this one, and I think he was a bit miscast. He's a decent actor, but he looked a bit wrong for the role, to be honest. But it's okay. It's brutal at times, yeah. I mean, the most shocking thing about the film actually is the language. Absolutely foul. Never heard so many C words in an American movie before. So yeah, that's one thing I remember about it. But anyway, overall not great. Next up we have Dharma, the Cannibal from 2002. This one's with Jeremy Renner, who's a great actor. He's gone on to bigger and better things nowadays. Bigger budgeted films anyway. But this one, he's very good in this one as well, and it's a very good film. It is talkative, so it may put off the gorehounds. You know, there isn't much carnage going on here. I think they show like 2 or 3 killings, but none of them are particularly violent or bloody. But still, very interesting. It kind of flashes back to Dharma's past, tries to get inside his head. But yeah, I thought it was very good. So that's Dharma the Cannibal. Next we have Gacy. I think once again from 2002. A lot of these were made in 2002, 2003. But yeah, this one was fairly mediocre. The guy that they got to play Gacy, he didn't really convince in the role. It's quite boring, to be honest. Most of the violence is off screen, and yeah, just a little bit dull. So nothing special here. I'd like to see a better version of this of the Gacy story there. Next we have Night Stalker. This one's about Richard Ramirez. Yeah, this was okay. Mostly based on fiction. It's about this female police detective who's on the hunt for him. Doesn't spend too much time with the killer, actually, Richard Ramirez, which was a shame. But it was okay. Got some bloody moments at times. Quite weird as well. But it was okay. Watchable at least. Next we have 10 Rillington Place. It's based on a British serial killer, John Reginald Christie, who murdered numerous women in West London and hid the bodies inside the walls of his home and his garden. Great film. Really like this one. Not very graphic, but it's still quite shocking, quite chilling. Richard Attenborough in the lead role as the killer, who's excellent. John Hurt, also very good, who gets wrongfully executed for the murders. But great film. They actually filmed this next door to where the murders took place, so it's got realism to it. You know, very creepy. And these killings actually took place down the road from where I live, so I grew up knowing about this killer, so tended to avoid the area when I was younger. But they've knocked the houses down now where they took place. But anyway, 10 Rillington Place, great film, definitely worth seeking out. It's only been released on DVD in the UK though, so but it's well worth a look. Next we have Evil Lenko, which is it's about a Ukrainian serial killer. He's actually a paedophile killer. So yeah, quite disturbing stuff. Obviously, as it's concerning kids, all the kills are off screen, apart from one, I believe. But still, gets his point across. You know, Malcolm McDowell plays the evil killer in this one, and does well. Overacts a bit at times, but still a decent performance from him. Must have been a difficult role, and overall decent film. Next we have From Hell. Obviously about the Jack the Ripper murders, who's considered the world's first serial killer. Great film, yeah, it's overblown Hollywood stuff, but very good. Looks excellent as well, you know, done an excellent job recreating the actual scenes of the murders. They paid attention to detail, and it's quite violent and gory in places as well, so that's always a plus for me. And yeah, just very an interesting take on the old Jack the Ripper story. But yeah, recommended if you haven't seen it already. And the last one is The Honeymoon Killers, which is about this really odd couple. They actually go around posing as brother and sister, robbing and murdering lonely women, and they actually kill a kid on one occasion as well. So an unpleasant duo. This particular film's from 1971. Not sure really why. Not sure why it's got an 18 rating. Not very graphic, or even shocking really, but it's still an interesting story. Yeah, decent film. You get this one pretty cheap online now, so it's worth a look, but nothing great. So yeah, there you go. There goes my little serial killer collection. If anybody's noticed ones that I don't have, which are worth a look, just leave a comment below, and I'll be interested in checking them out. So yeah, hope you found it of interest. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll be back next week with a video. Oh, I've got to do one on my Asian DVD update, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. So yeah, take care guys, bye.